Hello, my name is Christy, and I am the president of Jennie Johnson. And we're going to talk a bit today about how Jennie Johnson works, its features, and how you can get the most out of it in your job search. So we'll start with some brief introductions and the vision behind Jennie Johnson, and then we'll actually do a walkthrough to show you the different features and functions of the website, so you're more familiar with it. And then we'll talk a little bit about pricing and then allow time for questions at the end. So with that, again, my name is Christy. I'm the president of Jennie Johnson. I am loving working on this business because I think it's so great to create a product that can really help job seekers. You know, it's a very tough job market right now, and anything we can do to support job seekers, I think, is really great. My background is in marketing and operations, and I'm also a co-founder of another business. So I've been playing in this space for a while and really enjoy it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Kevin.
Thanks, Christy. I've got a little kid jumping in here for a second. I'm talking right now, right? So hold on 1 second. Sorry.
Of course.
Sorry about that, little kids. So I'm one of the co-founders here, and so Christy and I have known each other for a long time. I never really throw that out there, but Christy and I grew up together in East Palestine, Ohio, years and years ago. So yeah, maybe I'll talk a little bit about myself, the vision, just jump into that. So
yep.
I've been in the recruiting and job space for a long time, building job boards, building recruiting companies, and with the last year and a half, the way the job market has turned, there's not a lot of people hiring, and there's a lot of job seekers looking for opportunities, and it's very tough out there. And so this was an opportunity right now for us to give every tool available to job seekers to help them stand out. And with the advent of AI, that's allowed us to do this at a much lower cost for users, because before this, people would have to work with career coaches or resume writers, and it costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get a resume rewritten properly, to target companies with some assistance from someone and do this research and help get cover letters written, messaging for employers. And so what we've done is we've put all those tools in the hands of job seekers in a pretty much self-service manner to do that. So and Christy's going to walk through the product, but we do not take employer sponsorship. And so what we found before is if you're taking money from employers, you're swayed to keep their best interests at heart. And we want to flip the script on that. We want to take the job seekers and have their best interests at heart. We want you to become successful. And so all the jobs that we promote to you, we're not getting paid to promote those. Those are all based purely on relevancy of your profile on the site. We scrape every job on the web from careers pages and job boards, and then give you just the most relevant content. We then use our technology to show you how your resume matches up to that job. We find every application route for it, not just the job boards, but the company careers page where you should apply. And then we find the direct company contacts for you to reach out to, because as you all know, if you could sit on Indeed and LinkedIn and apply to 30 jobs a day through their quick apply, you're not going to hear back from them most of the time because those resumes get lost. If you applied and then sent one quick message off to the key personnel at the company, you're way more likely to stand out. So that's what the process that Christy's going to walk through really helps you do. And then on top of that, giving a rewritten resume to target each job, that really helps you stand out as well, because a lot of the software that they use in their applicant tracking systems, it will look for certain keywords. And if we take the job description in your resume and mold it so that you target what they're looking for, you're more likely to get through those filters. And then the reach out to the company contacts, like I said before, really helps you stand out. So this is the culmination of all of my experience in the recruiting and job space to give candidates and job seekers a leg up in the process. And it's taken a lot of work. There's a lot of resources behind this. We're doing live analysis of each job in your resume for each role that you look at. And so that's why this is a somewhat of a premium product for job seekers. That's why our subscriptions do have a cost to that, though we do give a lot of free tools out there. You get a free trial and things like that, and we really encourage you to take advantage of that. But so that's the gist of it. I'll hand it over to Christy.
Great, perfect. So we have categorized the features of Jennie Johnson into 2 buckets. On the left-hand side, you can see all of the features that allow you to explore jobs. So we have a job search tool on our homepage. And as Kevin mentioned, this allows you to access all of the jobs that we've pulled into our database from everywhere we can find them online. So we like to think about this as a more inclusive, all-inclusive job search tool compared to what you might find on Indeed or LinkedIn. We also send job digest emails to your inbox, and those emails have jobs that are available and align with your background. So when you upload your resume to Jennie Johnson, you will then start to get these emails with openings relevant to you. And then when you click on jobs, we provide you with a job detail summary that just really summarizes the information in the job description. So you can take a look at it quickly and decide if you want to continue to explore it or move on. And then also we provide a resume analysis, which looks at the job description compared to your resume and tells you where you might have some gaps that you should fill for the role, or maybe it tells you that, you're not really appropriate for this job at that time. And then you don't spend the time applying, because we all know it's time consuming. Then when it comes to applying for jobs, we have a couple of features here as well. So Kevin mentioned the resume rewrite. So we update your resume based on the job description and also provide you with a custom cover letter for that as well. We also share with you application links and networking links, and then interview questions that you might be asked, and company research. So there's quite a few things there, and I'm going to show you all of them. And as I mentioned, if you have any questions as we're talking, please feel free to raise your hand. We'll pay attention to the chat as well. So those are the 2 ways to ask some questions. So let's go ahead and dive into the site. I can imagine you can see my screen here. Okay, so this is the homepage, jenniejohnson.com. So I am going to pretend that not everyone has registered for our service yet. And so you go to jenniejohnson.com/register to go ahead and register. So you provide your email address here and your name, and then we ask that you upload your resume. And this allows us to provide the best job matches for your background and experience. If you don't have a resume yet, but you have a LinkedIn profile, we can accept that as well. Just copy and paste that in here. Also, if you don't even have a LinkedIn profile, you can just put some content in here that gives us a sense of what you're looking for. So you can talk about job titles that you're interested in. You can talk about your educational experience, your skills, your work history, things like that. So you can just be brief in putting information in here if you don't have a resume or a LinkedIn profile. And then last, you pick the frequency of the emails that you will get from us. So either daily, every other day, weekly. Okay, so once you fill this out, you'll start to get emails from us. And I'm going to show you one of those emails now. This is a job digest email. And as you can see, it has jobs that are listed here that are aligned with my resume. And then you also can get a custom resume rewrite. I'll talk about that later. We talk about the webinars, so you always know how to find us, and then some fun things at the end. Okay, so back to the site. That was the registration we just went through. Now I'm going to go back to the home page, and I'm going to start a job search. So I'm going to go through this process when I'm searching for a job. The same process applies if I click on a job that's in that job digest email that I just showed you. Okay, so I am going to search, and it's going to show me the relevant jobs based on my search. And you can see a number of things here, right? On the left-hand side, I can adjust by relevance, date, the distance to Chicago that I'm open to exploring. And I'm just going to go ahead and explore this position here. So
one point that if you the all jobs, you can then go to click that, and that'll show you just remote jobs. So if you're just looking for a work from home role, then you could just do remote jobs, which many people are.
Yep, great. Okay, so this is our job detail summary that I mentioned in the earlier slide. So we have a little information about things that you should be considering to get this job, to be successful in your job application. And then we provide a summary in addition to the original job description. So this will take you to what the employer had posted as a job description, so you can review that. And then next, I'm going to click on Power Apply. And Power Apply is the button that will allow me to see the most information that will help me further explore this position, in addition to prepare my resume and application for submission as well. So the first thing is the resume analysis. And this is what I talked about earlier. It's going to call out the things that are missing from my resume. That way I can see if, maybe I have some of this experience. I need to then make sure I add it to my resume so, it doesn't get bypassed by the employer. And then also it will help me determine if I really am qualified. So if I don't have a lot of these things as in my experience, then I might decide it's not worth spending the time applying. But let's say I have all of this experience and I'm feeling really confident and I want to keep moving through this process. I'm going to click on application links. And so the application links provides a list of places where this job is posted online. So I can go through and decide which link I'm going to use to apply to. And just a reminder, with Jennie Johnson, we do not apply for you. You will have to do the application yourself, but we provide you with this information so you can decide which might be the best for you to apply to. And then next we have networking links. And so networking links are some people within the organization that we think you should consider reaching out to once you have gone ahead and applied. So you would look at these LinkedIn profiles and decide who you want to introduce yourself to. Maybe you send your resume to them as well. Let them know that you're interested in this position and this is why you would be a great fit, and try to make a personal connection. And I think that's really important these days when the job market is so competitive and when employers are getting hundreds, if not thousands of resumes, because now it's so easy to apply. Kevin mentioned that the easy apply on LinkedIn, all you have to do is click a button and select which resume you want to have sent to the company. And so it takes 30 seconds to apply. So lots of people are doing that and not taking this extra step of reaching out and introducing yourself to an employer.
One thing you'll see there is there's a bullet point that says approach. We even write a personalized message. We research the company and give you a little message that you could copy and paste and use for your outreach through LinkedIn. Or if sometimes we'll give you the direct email address, like on their website for the person. So we really take a step further to even tell you what you could do to reach out to them with. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to take these steps where it's a little bit more work than just quick applying on Indeed, but we try to take as much work off of your plate as possible.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you can use all of this information to update your resume and apply and reach out right after you've applied. It's all right here. But if you want some help with your resume, you want us to help customize your resume for this specific position, then you click on Rewrite Resume at the bottom of this pop-up. And so this is actually going to take my resume and the job description, and it's going to marry them where it makes sense and deliver a document that I can then use to, just finesse it a little bit and apply. So I have already gone through this process. I think maybe 3 times I did this today. So I think I should have a report for this position. I'm going to go ahead and click on view my reports, and yeah, it's letting me do it again. See, I've done it a couple times. So I'm going to go ahead and click on view report, and this will show me all of the content that I've already reviewed with you, but it keeps it all in one place. So it's handy and you can refer back to it later. So you see the information here at the top, what's missing from my resume. There's some information about why they would interview me or why they might not. And then the new resume, which has been updated based on the requirements of the specific position. And so I can download this. So if I click on the arrow, I can download this as a PDF or a Word document or even a text document. So I can update it as I see fit and go ahead and apply then with that revised resume. So there's my targeted resume, my new resume, and then it explains the changes that were made. And this is really helpful, right? So I don't have to look at it side by side and try to figure out everything that has been changed. It's explained here for me. So that's great. And then I also have a cover letter, which I can also download and edit and use that to submit with the job, in addition to a personalized email message for this employer. Again, I'm probably going to download this and I'm going to revise it to make sure it feels like me, sounds like me, and says the things that I would want to make sure it says. But it's great to have a starting point. It's so helpful to have a place to start. And then finally, we have some of the other components, the job details, company overview, some interview questions that, can help me really prepare for the next step, which is hopefully an interview. And then questions that I can ask in the interview as well. So as Kevin had mentioned, we're trying to make this process as efficient and as painless as possible so you can apply to the jobs that you want to apply to without, constantly feeling like it takes hours to do each application and it's frustrating and so time consuming, all of the things, right? So here's, again, application links and networking links. It's all here. It's all in this report. We're calling it a report.
I'll jump in. Just, you've been talking a lot, Chrissy, doing a great job. Just to reiterate what she's saying, like especially with the interview questions, we really take a deep dive. We research the company and that exact position and match it up to your resume. And we come up with specific questions we really think that employer will ask you during an interview, because we pull out where there might be gaps in your resume compared to their job description and give you some questions they probably will ask. And so you easily could have done your own research of the company and the position and come up with what you think they would ask. However, we put it all right here for you. So spending 10 minutes to review these questions before you have a conversation with them will really help you stand out to them, because it'll show that you did a lot of research and looked into the company, whereas it saved you hours of time doing the research on your own.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to show you a couple of other things. So this account section is really important. So on the account section, in the account section, you have a profile. And so the profile is where I can provide some specifics on the job that I'm looking for. So I can include the cities I'm interested in, and I can include remote jobs there, which is really important. I can edit the resume that I have on file, and I can also edit my career profile specifically to ensure that I get the type of jobs that I want. And I think this is really good to know. When we do our job matching, we do the best we possibly can, but we might be able to refine it even more. And so when you start getting job digest emails from us, it's important that if they're not exactly what you're hoping for, that you come to this profile and make a couple edits to it and save those changes, and you'll start getting updates in your job digest emails right away. It also provides my account information, which allows me to change the frequency of the emails I receive. and then provides subscription information. So if you happen to have a subscription, you can change it and you can cancel as easy as clicking one of these buttons. So very, very easy. Another thing I can show you is how to create a report. I mentioned this when I showed you the job digest email. If you happen to see a job that's not posted on Jennie Johnson, so you can't click the Power Apply button that's there, you then copy and paste the information into here, and it will create a report for you. So you get all of the same benefits from our site, from our product, for any job. So that's really helpful as well. And then lastly, I'll show you the resources page, because the resources page is a place that you can go to watch short videos on how to do certain things within the site. And then we also have been posting these webinars here as well, in addition to having some content that might be helpful as you're going through your job search. Okay, I think that's it for the walkthrough. I think I'm getting faster and faster at this, but hopefully it all makes sense.
You know, okay. It's a lot of information. We tried to put a lot of tools in one place for you guys to use. And so we wanted it to be easily understood, but we want to give you a lot of tools. So like Christy said, if you have any specific questions, you can throw them up in the chat or just unmute yourself and ask whenever we get to that. But you can also email us. We'll give you our email addresses and we're happy to help. You know, we really built an automated tool so that 24 hours a day, if you need help applying, things like that, the Jennie inbox will respond back to you with unique answers to your questions, or there's tools here to use 24 hours a day. But again, if you need to reach out to us personally, you can.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I don't think we've actually talked about this in detail yet, Kevin, is that, you know, this is an AI-backed product, and it says it right here, right on the home page. This is an AI backed career coach. And so we use AI technology with our own proprietary technology to serve you this information. And so, you know, we think that's the best way to help the most people. We love to work one-on-one with job seekers, but we couldn't help nearly as many people that way. So we've built this tool to act as if you are getting support from an individual at, you know, a much lower cost than if you were to have a career coach, you know, that you were talking to regularly.
Yeah, we took all of our experience reading resumes, reading job descriptions, talking to employers, and, you know, it's not I think the free product and giving people the knowledge of what we're doing here, you could go off and do this on your own using ChatGPT to run analysis of the job and your resume and things like that. But we've built these we built these prompts to really analyze your resume and the job in multiple levels and spit it out in a few minutes. So the one thing about AI I wanted to address up front is people are sometimes afraid of the term AI, and whether it be Skynet or something like that. It's really just a software that we are utilizing to make things more efficient. The same way that Excel was applied to spreadsheets and crunching down numbers, it still takes a lot of human touch. We've built a lot of analysis on this. When you run a Power Apply, we do a live search. We find hundreds of websites and pieces of information, crunch it all down, analyze it, and spit out the best pieces of information for you. So there's a lot of work on the back end that goes into analyzing your resume, analyzing the job, finding the right contacts. And these are things you could do on your own. You could do a deep dive on every company and find these things yourself. We're just doing it in a much more efficient way. That's kind of what I want to get across is we're using AI to apply to this so that we can be very efficient in our process.
That's right. So let's talk briefly about what it costs, because of course there are some components that are free and then others that require payment, and that's because the technology is advanced and does cost us to build and to maintain and to continue to deliver the information to you that we do. So the job search is absolutely free, as is the digest email. And then when you're exploring jobs, that detailed summary that I showed you first is also a free component. So that's, the summary of the job description with the things that you should be considering to be successful in your application. So those things are free. And then when you get down to the resume analysis, in addition to the other application tools, there's a cost associated with that. And we have developed 2 subscription plans in the hopes that this provides a couple of different pricing options to be really respectful of job seekers and the situation they're in, and also based on how interested you really might be in searching right now. You might be applying to 1 or 2 jobs a month, or up to 15 jobs a month, just depending on what you're seeing. So we have plans that go along with both of those things. So the first is our standard subscription, which is $19 a month. And so with that subscription, you get 5 of those resume analyses, application links, and networking links a day. So you can get all of that information 5 times a day with this plan. And as we mentioned a couple times now, you can use that to apply on your own, or you can take it a step further and have us rewrite your resume for you, so you can use that as a starting point to updating your resume. And you get 3 of those a month. So 5 per day of all of these kind of middle section tools, and then 3 of the resume rewrites. We're assuming you're going to use more of those middle pieces just to further explore jobs more frequently. We always offer a 3-day free trial on our subscriptions. So when you sign up for a subscription, we do ask that you provide your credit card information, but that card does not get charged until you've either run a second resume rewrite, so you've clicked on that button a second time, or 3 days have passed. So that allows you to really explore the features and make sure that they work for you before you get charged. And I showed you in the My Account section where you can change or cancel your subscription. It's really easy. And if you have any struggles with it, you can always email Kevin or I, and we can help you do that as well. So then the premium subscription plan is $49 a month, and that allows you to have unlimited access to the resume analysis, application links, and networking links, and then $20 a month of these deeper like resume rewrite reports. Again, the same free trial applies. And then finally, if you're not so sure that you want a subscription, you can buy one resume rewrite, one kind of report that includes all of those things for a particular job. So those are the plans that we currently offer, and we're happy to take some questions now if anybody has them. And as you can see on our screen, we have our email addresses up here, so you can write those down and email us if you have questions you want to ask later. Any questions we can answer?
I was trying to drum up some thoughts here to maybe spark some questions. Everybody can jump in with questions. I'm just like really filibustering here and filling some time. But, I've been in this industry for a long time. The last 18 months, the job market has been insanely tight. News out there is saying that it's a 4% unemployment rate. It's more like 10, 12%, I think, in the real world. And so just so you know, you're not alone if you're in the middle of a job search. It's very tight right now. And one of the comments I get from a lot of people is, hey, this job is filled now, or they're not taking applications. And what I say to that is, even if a role that you see is showing as expired or filled, I think you should still reach out to them. I think that using our networking tools, you can really stand out. If you're a great candidate to a role, still send them an application, a resume, and reach out to them, because it can really make a difference, even if they've taken the posting down. All right, Mary Ann, you have a question? Let's see.
I had two questions. You guys found me. First time I heard about you, you had sent me a job email with a job in it, and I was like shocked to see something as close to me as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then I'm a career coach in a state career center, so I pay a lot of attention to this stuff, and I do this stuff. So I never have it done for me. I'm always doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, did you use LinkedIn to find me or what?
Yeah. We scour LinkedIn and try to find people that find matches for roles. We work with other recruiters too, and sometimes recruiters use our jobs in our database to reach out to people they work with, because they might not have jobs that they could fill at the time, but if they want to show their users some jobs, they'll send them around.
The other thing was, I think it said what time frame, and I'm 2 months from retiring, and I was going to go part-time. I wasn't going to go full-time again, but the job you sent was pretty interesting, so I'm waffling about that decision and and just trying to figure out, is it possible when it said 3 to 6 months that that's really the time frame for that job?
You know what? I think that if you reach out to them and present what you're looking for,
Yeah.
I don't think the companies are dead set on a specific time frame if they list it. And you bring up another point. This might not be answering your question. However, if you see a role that looks interesting and maybe it's full time and you're looking for a part-time role, or you just want to work from home or in a consulting basis, I think it's always worth reaching out to them and presenting to them your thoughts. Because you could say, listen, I have the exact skill set for this role. I'm not looking to go full time. I could do it part time. Maybe they'd be open to that. So I think that presenting what you would want to do to them, they'd be open to it, if that might help you.
Yeah, because I'm in New England now, and I would be uprooting and going to North Carolina, which I was considering doing anyway for my two brothers that live there, but not like today.
Right. Yeah. What a nice coincidence, right? I'd say go for it. And if it's meant to be, it happens.
Well, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm a true believer in that. Sometimes things just come your way and you weren't really expecting it. So maybe we stepped into your life and presented you a role that you weren't really expecting, but it was meant to be. And so, we're always trying to connect with people to give them a good opportunity to really get a leg up in their career or whatever they're trying to do.
Hi, Megan. Do you have a question?
It's a combination of a question and a compliment. I mean, I think that this product looks unbelievably fabulous, and I really don't remember how I came upon it, but I noticed it about 3 or 4 days ago, and just one of the simple questions when you were talking about resumes would you say that the maximum amount of pages would be 2? I mean, or more, or depending upon the position?
I would say you can, let me real quick.
Yeah.
Being a recruiter and going over resumes, they do want to get through them quickly. And so I think that 2 is probably the max. I mean, I'm older in my career, and I keep it as a max if I would have a resume out there. And then maybe you have a secondary one. If you are very specialized and you have a portfolio of things and you need more pages, that's one thing, but I would save that one for further conversations. I think trying to be short and sweet, have your little elevator pitch, which is your resume, to just get the point across.
Absolutely. I've always been of the school of thought that it needs to only be 1 page. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh my goodness. And when we post our resume, at what point do we, when we apply to the job and we write a cover letter, I guess that'll come together for me once I get familiar with the process. So I'm just wondering where that cover letter lives and when that, when that happens.
I'm going to show you, I'll show you again, because I think it's helpful maybe for everybody to see that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just moving my screen. Here we go. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. So all of the content lives in what we're calling a report. And so this is the report that I ran for this position that I clicked on earlier in the demo. And as you can see on the left-hand side, this is all of the information that's included in the report. It's the resume, cover letter, this email message, and then all of this content is also here. The other thing to know is when you run this report, there's also an email that comes into your inbox when the report is ready with all of this information attached, or there are links in there that take you out to this page. So you'll get it in a couple of places, in that email and then here. I would show you my email, but my inbox is really not that pretty. So I'm embarrassed
No
to
issues.
show it, but yeah, so this is where you can find it. And by clicking in my account and reports,
Okay.
is where you get that.
Excellent.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you something else too. So when I did the job search, I clicked into the home page and I searched here.
Uh-huh.
I can also click on jobs, and this is going to show jobs that are similar to my
Yes.
profile.
Yes.
And so I see different roles here now compared to what I saw when I did just the marketing director.
Yes.
And I can click on Power Apply, and again, it will bring up the analysis, the application links, and the networking links. And as you can see here, it's working. This is the back end actually working. It's in process
Yes.
for this role. And so it took, 10 seconds, 5 seconds to pull up this info. And I now have access to all three of these things here. And then again, if I want, I can have help with my resume by clicking on this button at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's it's super. And you're going to be sending the recording
Yes.
after the meeting. Okay,
I
great.
will do that for sure.
I want to send that to one of my team members.
Oh, great. Good. And, we're doing these calls now. We're trying to get on a regular schedule. It's a little bit hard, in the summertime and things, but we're going to be doing them every Thursday at 12 Eastern time. We'll kind of go between this type of demo call and a Q&A call where people can just join and ask any questions that they have related to their job search.
Excellent. I appreciate your time and answering my questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let me say I really appreciate your time as well, joining here and the compliments, and it truly means a lot. Like we put a lot of work into this. I've been in this space for a long time, and I'm really trying to succeed based upon the success of others, and that's what I want here. And so hopefully this is helping it along somewhat. Do we partner with let me look at that comment there. Do we partner with an organization that offers some career exploration for unfocused folks? Not specifically. I think that this tool is really good for new grads and people with a little bit less experience and don't have a really well-written resume. So what I do is I encourage people to dump into their profile everything they've done, all of their experience. And then we do take all of that information when you build a profile and we crunch it down and try to find what your next role would be. So if you are at one level of your career, we try to find the next step up. And so with somebody that's unfocused, maybe they have experience as a pipe fitter or a laborer and working customer service, and you've put all that in there, we will crunch it down and try to give you the roles that would match up to that experience. And I think that does help. I would love to work with organizations to work with people directly with that. Like I've been reaching out to like unemployment agencies and things like that to try to give this service at a discount to people. That would be a dream to do that, but not work with any organizations directly.
I asked the question because I know 4 of us that are in our 60s contemplating our next move and we're not clear on it. And we've done a lot of work, and we're trying to form that second phase of our lives. And I know from your email before that that's not what you, I love it when a person comes in focused and they know what they want to go after. It's like so much easier. But in this case, the career transition to the second phase of life is not that neat and tidy.
Yeah,
And
I think that would be an amazing update for us to consider, once we feel like we have this all worked out and it's running like perfectly. I think that's a great addition to make to our offerings.
Well, it's like giving you that other market segment, the higher aged people seasoned people as opposed to just new college grads or people that don't have a lot of experience in job search.
Yeah, well, even people, I switched careers a couple of times. I'm in my late 40s, and you still kind of go through that process no matter what age you're in, because there's going to be pros and cons to every position that you're in. So yeah, I think it's a worthwhile opportunity to explore.
Well, until you develop it, it wouldn't hurt to have some other organization do it.
Right. Yeah.
In conjunction with your work too. So just wanted to mention that.
Good idea. Okay, any other questions?
I think we went over a lot. It was good.
Yeah, okay.
Questions about her night?
Well, I think that's a wrap for today. I will send this out after, probably tomorrow. Most likely you'll see an email from me. I'll include our email addresses in it. So if you have any questions that come up in the future, please feel free to reach out. We're always open to feedback. We take feedback seriously and look at ways to improve our product based on feedback. And we respond directly to our emails. So please feel free to, reach out to us. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.